put a semicolon, that makes it a statement, and therefore it
Yeah,
wouldn't return
okay.
anything.
And so, yeah, so if I put a semicolon on this, like line 132, it wouldn't compile because I was supposed to be returning a result, but that semicolon said, don't return this thing, right?
Yeah,
Return.
exactly. It would evaluate, do vote, and then nothing would be returned, and then
Yeah.
yeah, the result.
So, okay, so that makes sense. So all these lines with semicolons, like we still want to do those things, but we don't want them to be the return value of proxy vote in this case. So we go on to the next one.
Yeah.
So what if I put more after this that did have semicolons?
Yeah, then you would have the same error. So it's not just for returning from a function. It's really just any case in which you need a value back from whatever it is you're doing. So like,
Oh.
yeah.
So it's almost like okay, so here's an example. Like these two, they're both expressions, right? Like this is an expression, I guess, and this is also an expression.
Yeah, exactly.
And together, this whole thing is an expression that's made of this like semicolon thing that glues two others together, and the whole thing I have highlighted evaluates to whatever the last thing evaluates to.
Yeah, yeah. So for a let, I think a let is like a special case in which it becomes a statement, and so it'd be a compile error not to have the semicolon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but if you just did ensure signed and didn't assign it to who, and then you didn't put a semicolon, then I think you would get a compile error because you have in like a dangling type, I guess, or dangling.
Yeah, or there's even like two expressions here, both without semicolons at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
you might try to return both, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So let's do another democracy example then. So where were we? Democracy. Okay, so we've had three proposals. They all became referendums. And so I want to see what happens if we make it a little bit of a busier like blockchain where maybe we can have multiple proposals open. I realize now that the block time is 4 seconds, and that might make it hard. So we'll see how we do, and if we need a longer time, then that's cool because then I get to show you how to change that parameter. So let's just have Alice Democracy propose that her own balance. I like to do these balances one because they're just an easy thing to grab. She'll lock up that many tokens. Okay, cool. So there's Alice's proposal. It has a value of, I don't know if I see it on there, but so let's go back over here, and then Bob is going to propose a democracy module, propose something different. He's going to, yeah, he'll just propose that Alice gets a different balance, and he's going to lock it up with like 1,500 tokens. And oh no, we missed it. All right, so this one's a referendum, this one's a proposal, so we'll just bang out one more of those. Oh, one of the things that I was hoping that we'd get to figure out is how to automate this kind of stuff with JavaScript.
Yeah, like using the API module?
Yeah, have you done any of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, cool. I did some of their examples with like token transfers, and they all worked out fine, exactly how I expected. But I haven't done anything with democracy. Oh, interesting. Something just happened that I didn't expect. So I've created 3 proposals so far. We saw one of them graduate to a referendum because I like didn't get back fast enough. And then I made 2 more, but now only one of them's down here or something, I think. Oh, and also these both say number 4. That's weird. Ending in. Okay, tabled. Okay, so now both of those are referendums. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It just changed to 5, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, maybe there's a different proposal index from referendum index. I guess maybe we could find that out. I've seen prop index a bunch. The next free referendum index, aka the number of referendums started so far. Oh yeah, that seems like a totally different thing, right? So referendum count, this is the declare storage. So all of these things are like variables that are going to get stored in the runtime module. So voting period, I think, is how long each referendum is open. Public delay is that number that I said between like when something gets passed and when it gets enacted. So, all right, let's see what's happening here. Oh, so no one voted on those previous referendums. So I guess they didn't pass. Oh yeah, not passed. Makes sense. We can also query the chain state. So like we can query those same storages. So right now we can see like, I thought, oh, there we go. Yeah, public prop count. So apparently there have been 6 proposals and referendum count. Oh, and all of them became referendums. Oh, weird. Maybe I just like didn't submit one of those extrinsics that I thought, or something like that. Okay, well, so does anybody have anything specific they want to see or they're thinking about? Or otherwise I can just show how to like, how the chain spec file works and how we can change some of these parameters. Okay, well, I'm going to give that a go then. So I'm going to kill my node here. And I'm going to run this command, substrate build spec. Well, in fact, let's do this first. So here's all the subcommands you can do. And I know a lot of people here are rchain people. So with rchain, there's a subcommand run, but with substrate, when you omit any subcommand, that's the equivalent of our node run. It just runs the node. Okay, so build spec, it says build a spec.json file outputting the standard out. So that's what we're going to do. Substrate build spec. And then I want to tell it to build one specifically based on the dev chain, because that's the one we were just running where there's like only one validator and all that nice stuff for quick prototyping. And since it's going to output to standard output, I want to save it to a file instead. And so we'll just call it my spec.json. And so it's this ginormous, in fact, it's so big I want to use Vim. And it's funny because, yeah, look at that. It uses more memory than max mem pattern. So it doesn't code highlight or anything. Most of it's human readable. There's only this one field that's not, and it's just ginormous. I think it's like multiple megabytes big. And this is the raw WASM blob that is the runtime code. So your full state transition function goes in this chain spec file.
Wow. Seems like there'd be a more efficient way than to put that as a string in JSON.
Yeah, I know. So they have this really cool idea where the runtime is always on blockchain. So if there's going to be a fork and like the fork goes through and so now the runtime has changed, but you haven't updated your node yet, then you can always run, like the runtime is right there in the chain, so you can just run that WASM, and then later when you bother to update your node, then you'll be running the faster native code, but you'll never have run wrong code. But yeah, I wish it was in a separate file or something, because it makes this super hard to edit.
Yeah.
So one thing you can change is the block period, and notice it says 2, but in the interface it said 4. There's some bug, or it's not really a bug, but like it's kind of a UX problem that they're trying to fix, and they know that always doubles. But like, for example, I'll change it to 6, and so then we expect our block period should be 12. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, because if they try to scroll through all that WASM, the editor crashes sometimes, but if I jump to the bottom, it works. And so all those runtime modules that we saw have these properties we can change, and most of them I haven't dug into that much, so I don't usually mess with them. Some of them we can. Oh yeah, here's democracy. That's the one I wanted to mess with now. So like before the launch period was 9 blocks. So maybe now we can change it to 10 blocks. And public delay, that was how long you had to wait before something got enacted. Like we can make that non-zero, and that, et cetera. And let votes stay open for longer. So we just changed some properties. And I'll save that. Oh, somewhere in here there's balances too. I think that's these. Yeah, that's the balances module. So like we could change Alice's initial token balance to something huge. And I don't remember if those are big numbers or if they can overflow or what. Okay, so we've got that new JSON file, and there's another step, and I'm not 100% sure what this second step does, but I just saw in the docs you have to do it, and I know it works if you do it and doesn't if you don't. So it looks like this: substrate build spec. We tell it we want to use the chain that we just described, my spec JSON, and then we tell it we want to make like a raw spec file, whatever that means. That's the part I'm not sure about. And then we'll just call it myraw.json. So now we've got these two files, and like they're even basically the same size, so I really don't know the difference, but this raw one will work now. So we can do substrate, instead of --dev, we're going to do chain myraw to tell it to use that config file. And then we're going to tell it we want to be a validator, and key is Alice. So when you do --dev, it tells it, first of all, run the dev chain, second of all, be a validator, third of all, validate with Alice's key. Since we're not using dev anymore, we have to tell it these parts manually, and I think that syntax is right. But we'll soon find out. Oh, cool, and this automatically refreshes. Oh, wow, I probably should have purged the blockchain before we did this, since it's like different than before, but we'll see what happened there. Yeah, so it looks like the changes didn't take effect, so I think we got to do this. Substrate purge chain. And, oh yeah, it's using the same dev. It thinks it's the same dev chain because we started this by just copying the dev chain spec and then just changed a couple little things, but we didn't change like the name or anything, so it thought it was still the same chain. But okay, I think it'll do the new stuff now. So
you choose which chain you want to purge in memory based on your build spec?
Yeah, so it's in disk, and one way you do it, or yeah, in fact, you specify a chain spec, and usually that means a file. Yeah.
So it's deleting all the memory on the chain based on the chain spec?
Yeah, exactly. There's somewhere in there, let's look at it again. Whoops. Somewhere in there, there's oh yeah, I think this is it. It shows that it like created that folder based on this chain ID here. I guess we could confirm that that's true. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, so there's those two. Yeah, we should change that ID next and see what happens. The good news is I got Alice's key format right because we are mining blocks, and so we're up to like 6 blocks. And so we've got Alice's account balance was that custom number that I typed in. That's all great. And on democracy tab, now we can see like we've got this 10 block launch period instead of 9 because I changed that in the config file and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, yeah. So maybe a good exercise, because we've got about 8 minutes left, maybe a good exercise would be trying to figure out how to do, basically what I want to do is either the kinds of things that I can do here in extrinsics or the things that I can do here in chain state tabs from straight up JavaScript. And so I can point to some places that are good places to get started, but I haven't actually done this yet. JS. So there's this project, and this is like, since we're mostly RChain people, this is like RChain API basically, and they have a ton of good examples. For example, here's a great one: make a transfer. So it's not that bad. You import the right stuff, you set up whatever keys you need. Here's main, and then it's just that easy, right? So like, you make the API. Oh, I didn't know you had to do all of that. That's a little more than I thought, but it's all key stuff. And then here's the cool part. So it's just like, I want to make this transfer, so I call it in JavaScript, and it does it somehow. So I would love to be able to do that kind of stuff from JavaScript for democracy module. And I've started. I don't remember where I called this. That was it. Polka.js playground. Oh yeah, right. So I just have like, this is one of their examples taken right from their thing. I think it just connects to the node and like checks the name and the version, and I'm not sure what chain is. But so we can try that. So it didn't run that time. It's not a constructor. I wonder if I need to get a new version. How do you update all the node modules? Not like I just did, do you?
npm install.
npm install. Okay. That one probably doesn't matter. Oh, same thing, huh? Oh no. No, shoot, sorry. There we go. So this was the code, and I think it's just this example here. And I know for sure that the last time I tried it, it worked, but that was different node versions and stuff. Let's see if it looks the same. API and WS provider, function main, new WS provider from local node. Yeah, that all looks the same.
Do you have to like rebuild some like packaging, like WASM pack or something?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think I only changed that chain spec file. Oh, well, okay. Are you saying because we're running this like custom chain or something?
Yeah, like if the node or the JavaScript part, if the like function definitions are no longer matching, if they change the actual like Rust functions, then you would have to update the specs in JavaScript.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you know much about how to do that? I definitely get the idea. What I've been wondering is how, like, it seems like in these examples, the JavaScript somehow just like knows all the Rust stuff that you should be able to call and has wrappers for it.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure either. Well, okay. I wonder if maybe we should just try a different one. Listen for new blocks. In fact, I might have that one too. Oh, I wonder if I just don't have the same. Let me just copy the new code just in case it changed. Oh, they do a lot of TypeScript stuff. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Oh yeah, same. What is anybody know what that means with the : 1006?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, me either.
No, not,
Oh, wow.
not at all.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, that gives me a good jumping off point, figuring out how to get the JavaScript stuff working. I think that'll be my next task.
Yeah, I just went through a cool WASM and Rust tutorial on how that works, and that definitely helped me understand like the conversion from Rust, not just to WASM, but also all these different build packs will build the TypeScript definitions.
Oh, wow. I would love to see that resource.
Yeah, I'll pass it to you. In fact, if you go to jbutera.info right now,
How many R's?
just one.
Oops. Oh, nice.
This is running in WebAssembly.
Is this Conway's life?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
This is running in WASM?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did you write it as Rust?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. I would love to know how to build this.
Yeah, I'll send you the thing.
What can I learn just by peeking at it? Okay, grid is 91 by 45. Did it detect that based on my browser?
Yeah. I'll send you my code, which is just a modified version of a tutorial that teaches you how to make the game of life in WebAssembly and Rust.
Dude, my mouse is affecting it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, all right. Good. Well, I think maybe we'll wrap it about here then. That was really fun for me. I hope you guys learned something.
No doubt. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right. Yeah. Look forward to it next time.
Yeah,
See you guys later.
Beginning, I did.
Oh, hey, Jim.
I did record the last part of it in a half an hour or so.
Nice.
But,
Thanks, man.
yeah, if I'm not there, you should, take host and record.
Yeah, Jim, I actually tried to do that because I knew you gave me the host key, and I feel like a total idiot. I literally don't know how to take host from you when you're not here to give it to me.
Yeah, well, you have to bring up the participants menu,
Okay.
and you should see claim host. You won't see it now because I'm the host.
Yeah, you were the host at the time though too.
Because I was already here. Huh?
Oh, because your camera was on. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, well, we identified that problem.
Yeah, nice. Well, and as always, thank you so much for letting us use the room. I feel like this is a nice common ground.
Yeah. It's, I'm glad to. I'm sorry to have missed the beginning. It's good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.